Hey guys, Mr. T here in the next video. It's going to be on rounding numbers, so about exercise 2C, exercise 2C, 2C.1, 2C.2, alright? So, oftentimes it's appropriate to approximate an answer, not give the exact figure. You probably don't care that a piece of paper is 20.0124 blah 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 centimeters. I could go on, okay? It's probably close enough to 20 centimeters that it doesn't matter, alright? Now there might be situations where it does matter. I'm just giving some, well, it's a bit silly example, but I couldn't think of another one today. Now, the important thing maths-wise is that when you are approximating, when you aren't going to give the whole length decimal in your answer, you need to show it with a special symbol. So instead of saying equals, because you can't say equals anymore, if you are going to get rid of some of the information here, get rid of the 0.0124 of it, that's not the actual answer anymore. You can't say equals, alright? So you use the approximation symbols instead, a squiggly little equal sign or equal sign with two dots on the top and on the bottom, okay? You will be asked to round to any particular digit or decimal place, but again, you must indicate this in brackets afterwards, after the value. In brackets after the value. So let's say you're rounding to the nearest 100, you would put the answer after the approximation sign, and you would have brackets saying to the nearest 100. No, I'm not aware of any shortening for that. If you're asked to round to particular decimal places, though, you can do a shortening. You could go bracket to d.p to decimal places. Alright? So, hopefully you've actually experienced this before, but if not, here's the basic rule. When rounding, you're going to be changing or keeping the number in the place that you're rounding off to. So if you're rounding to the nearest 100, the hundreds column is 2 to the left of the decimal point. So you're looking at that number, that's the one that you're going to change or keep. And it always depends, whether you change or keep it, it always depends on the number after it. So if the digit after the one that you're rounding off is less than 5, you keep it the same. Okay, that's deemed that the next column over is not large enough to say you're actually closer to the next number up. If the digit after the one being rounded is 5 or more, then you do round the number up in the place that you're interested in by 1. So let's say a 2. Let's say I was rounding 23 by rounding 23 to the nearest 10. Okay, 2 is in the tens column, so I look at the number after it. 3 is less than 5, so I don't change anything. The nearest 10 would be 20. Alright, so to give you some examples here, so that you can follow along. So rounding 39932 to the nearest 100. 39932. Hundreds are here. This is what I'm interested in. So I have to look at the number after it. 3 is less than 5, so that means I don't change the number in that column, make the rest 0. So put that in brackets, that's not part of the answer. So 39932, 39,932 to the nearest 100 is going to be 39,900 to nearest 100. Okay, I just figured for interest's sake we might as well change it slightly. What if this was 5 and I still wanted to round to the nearest 100? Well, the hundreds column is still here, so that's what I'm interested in. I look at the number after it. That is 5 or more. 5 or more this time. Okay, you don't need to write this stuff in brackets after, I'm just showing it for effect. Okay, so 39952 to the nearest 100 is approximately 39. And here we have a problem because the next 100 is 1,000. Okay, so that is going to be 0, 0, 0. The 1 is going to carry over to make that 0 again. And so this, the 1 from that is going to carry over. It's actually going to be 40,000. You can see a little cascading effect there. We changed the 100 column. We increased it by 1 because the 5 here, it was 5 or more, increased this by 1. But therefore it cascades because increasing that by 1 makes it 1,000. 1,000 is going to increase that 9 by 1 as well. So that's going to increase. It's going to be 40,000. I probably should have chosen a slightly easier example here. Let's say, let's get rid of that 9. If it was like 3, 5, 4, 5, 2, that's going to be easier. All right. So here, that's the 100. I need to round it to the nearest 100. So look at that. It's 5 or more. So I need to increase the 100 column by 1, make the rest 0, so it's going to be 3, 5, 500 to the nearest 100. Same here, nearest 100. So I didn't think about it, sorry. This example is quite difficult here. I probably should have done that second, where it cascades up the columns, but might as well see it anyway. Here is probably what I should have started off with. You're interested in round to the nearest 100, which is in this column. You look at the number after it. It's a 5, 5 or more. I need to increase the 100 column by 1. So it goes to 3, 5, 5, 0, 0. Next question. I just wanted to give you an example for decimal places. Let's say I wanted to round this to the nearest 100th, 2.3269. This is the 100th column, where 2 is. Okay, so just like before, you look at the number after it, sorry, the digit, I get digit and numbers mixed up. Look at the digit after it. Is it 5 or more? Yes, 5 or more. So that means I need to change, I need to increase the number being rounded off by 1. So it's going to be approximately equal to 2.3. What's 1 above 2? 3. And that has been rounded off to 2 dp, 2 decimal places. Okay, so that's an example of how you would write your answers there, how you'd work through and think through the rounding of numbers. And I'll see you in the next video.